In the Middle East, Iran criticizing the White House for sending mixed messages about the ongoing nuclear talks, which they say are putting negotiations at risk. President Trump's special envoy, yet again, Steve Witkoff, plans to meet with Iran's foreign minister tomorrow in Rome. This follows demands from Witkoff to stop all uranium enrichment, which Iran says is non-negotiable. Iran's foreign minister calling President Trump's comments about eliminating Iran's nuclear program unhelpful, saying statements like that make it hard to reach a deal. President Trump is holding his ground on this, warning Iran the U.S. is ready to take strong action if needed, despite also wanting a diplomatic solution. NewsNation's Tom Dempsey joining us from Washington with the latest on all of this. Good morning, Tom.
Hey, good morning, Marnie. Yeah, ahead of this weekend's talks, President Donald Trump has been very clear with his message that Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon. He says he hopes a deal comes soon to avoid a possible conflict.
I think that Iran has a chance to have a great country and to live happily without death. And I'd like to see that. That's my first option. If there's a second option, I think it would be very bad for Iran. And I think Iran is wanting to talk. I hope they're wanting to talk.
Those comments all came after the New York Times, citing multiple sources briefed on Israeli secret military plans, reported that President Trump did not support Israel striking Iranian nuclear facilities as soon as next month. The president spoke with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu about the plans just last week at the White House. Israel has allegedly developed plans to carry out the strikes, hoping to set back Iran's nuclear program by at least a year. But President Trump allegedly said the U.S. would not provide support as negotiations over a possible deal continue. Back in 2018, President Trump pulled the United States out of a deal that puts strict limits on Iran's nuclear program in exchange for sanctions relief. But this new push for a deal comes as the UN nuclear watchdog group, the International Atomic Energy Agency, released a report saying Iran has accelerated its production of near weapons-grade uranium, and big concerns remain about the country possibly developing a nuclear weapon. And the tension right now has really gone up, too, between Iran and the United States with those recent United States airstrikes against Houthi targets, with the United States accusing Iran of providing money and weapons to the terrorist organization, Marnie.
So given all this, Tom, where are we at? What's the status of the talks heading into the weekend?
Yeah, so NewsNation has confirmed that these talks between Iran and the United States will be taking place in Rome on Saturday. And we know a delegation from Oman will be serving as the mediator of these talks that are happening. And they come after Iranian leaders dismissed the idea of having direct talks with the United States. The Iranian supreme leader also recently sent his foreign minister to Moscow to talk with Vladimir Putin about the upcoming nuclear talks. Russia has been a longstanding ally of Iran. And when it comes to these nuclear talks, Iran maintains that its nuclear program is strictly for peaceful purposes. Marnie?
All right, a lot to keep our eye on. Tom, thank you for the update.